gentlemen, welcome to another episode of MPJ New Rock Album Review Show. Welcome to today's guests, to Pete and to Chris, of course, half the cohort. Will is drunk somewhere. Trish is on holidays and may well be drunk somewhere, and Simon might also be drunk as he celebrates the birth of his son, Rupert. So congratulations. Anyway, today we are reviewing Coheed and Cambria, Vaxis Act 3, Father of Make Believe, on that score. Now, we have reviewed them before with Vaxis Act 2, which was a bit of a hit and miss album for everybody. It only got 3.1, so somewhere in the lower half of the 510 albums, or actually 518 albums now that we've reviewed. Yes, and obviously some of the biggest fans are not here for this, but we'll start with you then, Chris. What did you make of this? Because I think it was slightly different from the previous album.
Yeah, so I don't remember being involved in the review of the previous album. If I was, I don't apologize. But at the same time, yeah. Okay, fair enough. I quite liked this one. I think there's a lot to say about Coheed and how they sort of define their music. I think they base it a lot on a whole load of characters and artwork and stuff that the lead singer is involved in. Thankfully, you don't need to know an awful lot about it to be able to pick this up. The album itself, at times it seems quite chilled, but otherwise it's got a lot of attitude and a lot of punch at the same time. The opening track seemed to be a little bit random. It's almost kind of a, hey, guess what, we've done sort of this sort of music before, but now we've changed it all up and we're going to go ahead with something slightly different. Because the second track, which is Goodbye Sunshine, just kind of seems to shake everything up a bit and restart again. Following that into Searching for Tomorrow, there is an awesome guitar riff at the beginning of that song, and it follows it through. I really like that. And yeah, it just did something special to me. Is, like when you find the little tickle spot on a dog and he starts scratching his leg and going, "Oh, that's really nice." Sorry, it was what came to mind at the time. Blindside Sunny kind of follows on after Father of Make Believe. I was slightly concerned when that one kicked in that they were about to go into a Growler album, but thankfully they didn't. So yeah, it was pretty enjoyable. I really found myself kind of coming back to it 2 or 3, maybe 4 times over the course of the month. Just kind of I need to listen to something. I'll pull this one back out of the bag. So yeah, it grew on me, this one, as we went through the month. It was really good.
Cool. Pete, is this a band that you had, again, we tried to warn you this was going to be a journey, but had you come across Coheed before?
Yes, I have. They're not unknown to me.
Okay, fantastic. And so what did you make?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that the previous album you guys did was a bit of a hit and miss, because if I check my notes here behind Coheed and Cambria, the first 3 words I scribbled down were hits and miss. It's like Chris said as well. The first track couldn't make much of it. Then a few tracks after that. At times I got a little bit of. I got well surprised by some tracks. Really, it's got some psychedelic vibes even, which I really really enjoy, of course. But yeah, it switched up too much. There's not a lot of consistency in it. Generic at times even, and just like, yeah, I feel like I've listened to this song a million times before on a million different albums. So yeah, some songs are really unique and out there. Some songs are just really really meh. Can't say that I'm a huge fan of the guy's voice either. Never have been, never will be. So yeah, the hit and miss really sums it up for me.
Yeah, interesting. I actually, looking at Trish's notes, she said, "For me, the opening track was a bit of a wishy-washy for me, whereas the second track, Goodbye Sunshine, wakes you up and hits you in the face. And I wish it was the opening track that would have been more exciting for the album." So, and again, similar, really, very much an album of 2 halves for her, similar to Pete. Now, for me. Yeah, I love variation in an album. I mean, I love variation, and I love it when that variation hits a lot of my sweet spots, which this did. And I love his voice. I think it's fantastic, and of course they're Welsh, which helps. But I genuinely loved this album. It was on repeat quite a lot. I loved the variations. I loved the that classic style. There was those 3 tracks. For me, Goodbye Sunshine was amazing. The Continuum, I loved that as well. And I loved those 3 songs, and they almost split like this kind of almost concept. 3 songs, and they split it into 3, which was really good, and I really liked the last bit of that as well. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It was very great storytelling, so it hit that kind of sweet spot for me, hit that little bit of a techno vibe. I love that. I love it when it switches into that and just use it to accentuate the music rather than dominate the music. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I loved it. I mean, I've had a great month this month, to be frank. Apart from obviously the metalcore aspect, I've loved this album. So for me, Act 3 better than Act 2, and I really thoroughly enjoyed this album. Definitely hit my list of top albums of the year so far. I said I'm having a great month, loving it. Right, however, is it enough? Will it improve on 3.1? Will it get into our Hall of Fame? Let's find out, shall we? We're gonna start. We're gonna start with the positivity here, and I'm the only one, but I give this a 5. Okay, I loved it. Absolutely loved the album. Pete,
I'm doing everything a 5 but Spirit Box. But okay, just wanted to point that out. 2.5.
There's a 5 in there. There's a 5 in there.
Yeah,
5 in there. Simon is a big fan of Coheed, and he gives us a 4.5, which is interesting. More interested or not, Trish only gave this a 3. So, but Will, and I wish he was here because this surprised me, he gave it a 4. Which was quite surprising for Chris. So, Chris, if you give this more than a 3.5, it gets into the Hall of Fame, Chris. Are you going to be a hero again? Am I making you the hero of April? Will it be enough again to get into a Hall of Fame? Because we're peppering it this month. I have never seen so many bands get into our Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, Chris, go for it.
Well, so I have good news. I gave this a 4.
Yay!
So it's another one heading into the Hall of Fame.
Do you know what, guys? I'm going to shock you to here because this got 4.1 again.
Good Lord in heaven.
Again. I mean, we are
at least consistent, are we not?
What the? So for the 3rd album running this month, it's got 4.1. It gets into our Hall of Fame. Pete, this is unusual. We don't normally get this many albums into our Hall of Fame. It's very, very, very unusual. This month has been exceptional.
At what point does this become the 4.1 star podcast?
Yes, it's becoming like maybe I should make the part of another little bungalow called the 4.1 Club from that perspective. Right, okay. Congratulations to Coheed. Welcome to our MPJ Hall of Fame. Do you agree? Disagree? Leave your comments below. Hit the like and subscribe button. Then a bing. Thank you very much. Thank you to my wonderful panel, to Pete and to Chris, for holding the fort while our drunken lot are doing other things. Thank you very much. Goodbye for now. Keep on rocking.